I'm going to drink Pepsi. That is a Pepsi that you can buy in 2018. In the recent video, I drank Pepsi limited edition from 1980s. That was 1980s limited edition that looked different. This one, as mentioned in the previous video, is a lot more bluish than the one that used to be in 1980s. You can find that video on my YouTube channel, AndYouLeftTheGame. While drinking this Pepsi, I'll be talking about 2018 WCS Leipzig Oceania SEA Qualifier. That is a tournament with a prize pool of $7,660. It's considered to be a major tournament because it's a qualifier, but it's not a premier tournament because the premier tournament is the actual 2018 Leipzig. The first place gets $2,044. The second place gets $1,572. The third place gets $1,179 and the fourth place gets $865. There is a losers bracket, or kind of the losers round, that's being played over and over. And I'm going to, in the grand finals, see one from the losers rounds and one from the regular bracket. So in the losers round, the players will always kind of get a chance to compete, and I think that's quite good, really. Then the players do not end up disqualified reasonably quickly. Otherwise, it's better, I think. In any case, it's time to open this Pepsi. It's not a bad drink. I personally recently drank quite a bit of Pepsi, so it was certainly a beverage that I prefer to drink. However, the choice is vast, and in the future videos you may see more sodas, more drinks that are out there. And so it's time to start talking. First of all, we're going to find out who ended up in the grand finals from the winners brackets or the regular brackets. So most of these are going to be from Australia, but not all of the players will be from Australia. The first match, Sather versus Vivid. 2-0 Sather wins. I cannot tell you what kind of race they play because it's just simply not mentioned here. Unfortunately, that's the way the developers made this bracket look like without showing the race. So you'll have to Google the players' races on your own. The second match, Iagus versus Demi. Iagus is from Australia, while Demi is from India. 2-1 Demi wins against the Australian player. Two Australians, Notorious Pig versus Crimson. 2-0 Notorious Pig wins and moves on. Peppy versus Yours. 2-1 Yours wins. Mighty KLWL versus Luneth. 2-0 Luneth loses. Azure versus Valley. 2-0 Azure wins. Hut versus Meo Maika. It's a player from Vietnam. Hut is a player from Australia. 2-0 Hut wins and moves on. Furthermore, two Australians. I have to take a better look. Okay, so this guy is Fuely versus Probe. 2-0 Probe wins over Fuely. In the quarterfinals, I have Sather versus Demi, Notorious Pig versus Yours, and Mighty KLWL versus Azure. Also Hut versus Probe. The quarterfinals. Sather versus Demi. Sather is Australian player, Demi an Indian player. 2-0 Sather wins and moves on to the semifinals. Notorious Pig versus Yours. Yours wins 2-1. Mighty KLWL wins over Azure in the third match. The fourth match, Hut versus Probe. Probe wins 2-0. In the semifinals, I see Sather versus Yours. Mighty Kiwi, that's how it's mentioned here. Kiwi, not KLWL, as I previously misread this. So it looks like Mighty KLWL is simply Mighty Kiwi. In any case, in the second match here, Mighty Kiwi versus Probe, Mighty Kiwi has been defeated and left away reaching the quarterfinals, while Probe moved on to the winners finals, and in the winners finals the winner will move on to the grand finals. In the first match of the semifinals, Sather versus Yours, Sather has won 2-0. In the winners finals, we see Sather versus Probe, two Australian players. 2-0 Sather wins and moves on to the grand finals. Now the losers round. Valley versus Luneth. 2-0 Valley wins. Fuely versus Miomoika. 2-0 Miomoika wins. Iagus versus Vivid. 2-0 Iagus wins. Peppy versus Crimson. Crimson wins 2-1. Losers round 2. Notorious Pig versus Valley. 2-1 Notorious Pig wins. Demi versus Miomoika. Miomoika wins 2-1. Hut versus Iagus. Iagus wins 2-0. Azure versus Crimson, 2-1 Crimson wins. Notorious Pig versus Mia Micah, 2-0 Notorious Pig wins. Iagus versus Crimson, 2-0 Crimson wins. Mighty Kiwi versus Notorious Pig, 2-0 Notorious Pig wins. Yours versus Crimson, yours wins 2-1. Well, I wasn't very precise. So in the losers round 1 played Valley versus Luneth, Fuley versus Mia Micah, Yagus versus Vivid, and Pepe versus Crimson. In losers round 2, Notorious Pig played versus Valley, Demi played versus Mia Micah, Ahat played versus Iagus, and Azure played versus Crimson. In the losers round 3, Notorious Pig played versus Mia Micah, Iagus played versus Crimson. In the losers round 4, Mighty Kiwi played Notorious Pig, yours played Crimson. So if you followed the ones that actually jumped through the rounds, you probably got it all right, but the ones that are just kind of reading the nicknames without memorizing them properly, most likely gonna confuse, so I have corrected this for you. In the losers semifinals, we see Notorious Pig versus yours, 2-0, yours has won. Up to the losers finals, we had only a couple of players that were not Australians. So in the losers round 1, Mia Moika started playing. He was from Taiwan, and he reached losers round 3 where he lost against Notorious Pig. In the losers round 2, Demi from India jumped in because Demi lost in the winners quarterfinals against Sather 2-0, and in the losers round 2 lost against another non-Australian player from Vietnam, Mia Moika. So the losers finals, Notorious Pig versus yours won 2-0. Oh, that was the semifinals, sorry. So the losers semifinals, Notorious Pig versus yours has won 2-0. Losers finals, Probe versus yours. Probe has lost the winners finals and was allowed to play in the losers finals, which is really good because he kind of got himself another chance. Probe has successfully won against the losers finalist yours, and who jumped in to the losers rounds during the losers round 4 after he lost against the finalist Sather in the winners semifinals 2-0. Then he won against Crimson, he won against Notorious Pig, but unfortunately he lost against Probe. In the grand finals, when Sather and Probe met again, Probe has won 3-2, proving himself in this case that the system works and the loser from the main brackets can in fact become a champion or the grand finalist winner. Now I'm going to take a look at WCS Leipzig, and I'm going to tell you how well Probe and Sather did. It looks like none of these two players managed to reach WCS Leipzig brackets at all. So, the qualifiers, the first place went to Protoss player, the second place Terran player Sather, the third place Zerg player Yours, and the fourth place Terran player Notorious Pig. The first place got 200 WCS circuit points, the second place got 140 WCS circuit points, and the third four places got 90 points each. And you left the game.